I'm Ed Mezulis, your Sedona Fire District Fire Chief. I'm super excited for 2026. For the first time in a while, we're at full complement with our staffing, and that includes operations and support staff. And as a district, we have to fill human resources, finance, maintenance, and facilities maintenance, all the things a city would have to fill. And so being full complement means we can really move forward with a lot of our initiatives. And really the focus this year is tightening up some processes internally, working on some policy and procedure improvements. We're working to get Station 4 started in Uptown, and really excited about our partnership with the City of Sedona getting our public safety radios upgraded. We knew we had a phased approach to upgrading the radios, and we're able to capture some cost savings getting what the known needs started. And then as we developed some mapping of the radio system in the area, we discovered that there were some opportunities for some newly discovered tower sites, as it relates to the city annexing some property and things like that, giving us some sites where we can put more communications equipment and further expand and improve our emergency response.
Following the Sedona City Council's priority retreat in December, Firewise expansion became a top priority. The Sedona Fire District will be working with the city to reduce wildfire risk.
As we all know, that was announced by the city as an important initiative for them this year. And across the board, we've got a great relationship with the City of Sedona. And I'm excited. Our folks are talking to their folks. And I think with our efforts with wildland fire preparation and Firewise as a fire district and working with DFFM at the state, I think we're going to be able to tie in with the city and really provide a good product for the community. I've done a lot of Firewise talks recently and gotten a lot of great feedback from our citizens on what we can do to change our system and change our process to improve it for our community. And I think having the city's horsepower in there, it's really going to help to make this community safer. One of those is we've been spending a lot of time grassroots with neighborhoods if we could just get one or two people in a neighborhood or an HOA to Firewise their yard, they could be kind of the showcase for how good it can look and how it can protect their home. And I think with the city's messaging and some of their resources, we're going to be able to expand that. And there's potential exists. The city does citywide cleanups where they'll pick up at street side, and maybe we can partner and help further that effort. And I don't know yet, but I'm confident that the city's got the right folks in place to put with our folks, and we can make a change. Station 4, we've done a lot of the preliminary construction work. Thankfully, we core drilled it, and it's deep soil, not a lot of red rock, so that's a cost-saving measure. We've had the asbestos analysis done, and we're going to take mitigating strategies to make sure that we abate the asbestos concerns without impacting the local residents. And then had a pre-construction meeting with the city, and our architect's done a fine job of evaluating city code and zoning ordinances, and very little feedback no feedback that was negative from the city, and just a really supportive structure to keep moving forward.
However, Station 4 isn't the only facility facing challenges. About 7 miles up Oak Creek Canyon sits Station 5, a leased building that Mezulis says can't be improved or expanded upon under the current lease. For years, the district has been in talks with Arizona State Parks about one potential solution, relocating the station onto Slide Rock State Park.
Essentially, we own half of the structure and they own the other half, and they've been a great landlord, if you will, for decades. And just for multiple reasons: the size of the station, the layout of the station, the age of the station, and more importantly, the location of the station. And we've analyzed data, and if we had the opportunity to move it north a couple miles, it's going to essentially capture the residences and commercial properties in the north part of the canyon, and it'll help them with their insurance rating, and it'll get us basically in the center of the canyon. So we're in initial work on getting a submission ready. If we did have the opportunity to partner with state parks, it's quite an extensive process, because by statute, state parks can't change use of land deemed for public use, and it's under the Land and Water Conservation Fund, which is a federal program. So essentially, we've got to come up with a strategy that shows we can enhance public safety and access to recreation at the same time, and have it approved by the state and the feds. So as you can imagine, it's not a 2-week process. Firewise is our big initiative this year. I think it, and the big reason behind it is, one, obviously the urban interface conditions here in Sedona, but equally important to us is really working to establish a foundational understanding of how the insurance companies work, because we're here to reduce impact to our community, a negative impact, and primarily that's seen with emergency medical calls and fire calls, but ultimately, with so many people in town losing insurance carriers, if we can be a part of the solution to that, I think that's an important initiative we're really going to focus on.